in certain
Melo will
things.
forever be this generation's Charles Barkley. So
That's tough.
it is.
That's tough.
At my crib, I got baddies galore. They just blow all the rats on couture. On the beach, we just chill by the shore. I need MTV Chris for a tour.
At least
Come
somebody
on,
sees it.
Roy.
Yes.
So if Melo goes to the Knicks and they were trash and they don't do much, but he's regarded in a different light. LeBron goes to the Lakers, they were trash, but they finally get pieces and start
Yo,
winning. That's
how
different.
do people feel about Melo? How
We
do they feel
respect
about
Melo.
him?
I
I
Melo.
respect Melo because Melo was treated like shit. And I feel like they was putting so much trash on his name that they didn't realize he's still a fucking perennial Hall of Famer.
And
That's
he
why I
still
respect
stayed
Melo.
down. He still stayed
Yes,
down even through the
and nobody
organization.
talks great things about Melo. I just hope to see him play good when I see him playing. I don't say Melo should get chips. He went to the Knicks and he fucked the Knicks up. He didn't make them a better team. Like he didn't make them like
Nah, I can't say that. They didn't help him. Like you look at what happened.
they
Amari
didn't
got
put the
hurt.
right pieces around him, but he was making too much fucking money and he didn't take a price cut to get niggas in there. That so you know what? He had an
That ain't his
opportunity to
problem.
lose.
That's one thing.
Dolan
but
got the money.
the thing is, as an organization,
Dolan got the money. The Players Association got the luxury tax. They had all this shit. And playing in New York is not easy, bro. And Melo could have took a price cut to get a player when he was in his prime, but he did not. And he could have went to the Bulls.
but the thing is, nobody wanted to go to New York. You look at it. Melo is in a large market that can afford to pay him the max. If it was a super max right at that point in time, Melo would have got that super max. And we see teams now that have players that have a super max contract still build and still put people that need to be around that superstar. They didn't do that for him. Every year there was a new set of teammates that
All right, so maybe my statement is he fucked that team up. He didn't personally. His business fucked that team up.
Nah, because you can still pay him his max contract. But it's Roy, if you draft Melo, it's your job to put people around him. It's not his job to accommodate to you. His job is to play game in, game out, do what he's paid to do. He does that. Your job is to put people around him that help him put him in a better position. So that's your fault. You got to eat that if your team isn't successful.
I just perceive his stint with the Knicks to be totally like the thing that fucked his career up. So it's not a good thing to me. So Denver Melo, USA Metal Melo, Hoodie Melo, fucking Chris Brinkley, Workout Gym Melo, all nice. You know what I mean? But the Knicks Melo, besides those games where he lit the garden up and shit, that was his only good memories from the Knicks. Like, and going to the playoffs them couple of times, you know? Like,
yeah, right. But
it was bad business there. It was a bad business move for him really to go there. You know, they traded a lot of shit away to get him that he probably should have kept around with him in the Eastern Conference. That would have made them more comparable.
well, he couldn't, like, you look at it like that because he talked about that and he went into detail about that with people that are credible about that. So Denver, they got rid of everybody. Like Chauncey, they're about to get rid of. They traded AI for Chauncey before him. So everybody's leaving. So they get rid of Melo. They trade him. Now Melo can't ask them to keep certain pieces or anything like that. He just wanted to get up out of there. So he goes to the Knicks.
You forget the whole key part of it was George Karl.
Well, George Karl played a part as well. But the thing was, the main thing was, right, the main thing was, though, that pieces were leaving that got them to where they were at the conference finals in the first place. So they lose those pieces. Kobe. Right. He gets
best
traded.
Melo basketball play I've seen.
Yeah, that was the legendary series. Like that's like Kobe going into detail about that series and then Melo breaking it down too. Absolutely legendary. Yeah, that's where Kobe's the man.
That's where I really started liking. I was like, damn, Kobe, you bringing the best out of this kid.
So Melo leaves. He goes to the Knicks. They get stat even after the surgery. He didn't really decline yet, but he was still Stoudemire. So they got Stoudemire. start doing a little bit. They got Tyson Chandler, make the playoffs a couple times. Then they start getting rid of those guys. Stat gets hurt, so he's not the same. So then they start trying to build around and bring in people that were supposed to be there. Then Phil Jackson comes in, starts trying to run the triangle, which doesn't fit Derrick Rose or Joakim Noah or Kristaps Porzingis, and he's not even coaching the triangle. He's telling the coach to run the triangle.
Yeah, Hornacek. Yeah, we went through all that misery. So we don't have to reenact.
Melo wasn't in a position to succeed. That's really what it came down to. Like his organization didn't help him out. He should have went to Miami. He should have went to the Bulls.
Melo is not the same kind of businessman beast that LeBron is when it comes to maneuvering pieces and I think socializing with other players. Like it was never really like that for Melo. Melo's always been like, yo, I'm nice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So if you nice, sometimes you got to be like LeBron. You got to be the nice dude and the politician. LeBron's the politician. He's the one chopping it up with cats. He's the one joking around with them. And that's why it's okay for people to be like, yo, yeah, I'm going to play with LeBron. You know what I mean? They see him as a different person. And let's segue to this, thus being the reason why Kyrie said the shit he said. Because
before we go to that real quick, Melo talked about that too, because he was talking with Dame about going to Portland and these other guys. But at that point in time, like even the LeBron situation was about money, where he was like, I don't leave that type of money on the table where I came from, because he didn't understand that. Do a 2-year deal. After that, you're out to your 2 years. You got chips. You're still the man. You could re-sign for whatever you want to. He didn't understand that at that time. Then the second part about him leaving the next time, he tried to stay loyal to New York because they were promising him more help. But Dame did get in his ear about, yo, you need to come to Portland. You need to be appreciated here. Like that happened. But Melo's a loyal person where whoever, promises him and gives them that opportunity first, he's not just going to turn his back on it. But Kyrie Irving, that nigga nuts. I don't understand it. He's crazy. He's like a Kanye West. He's great on the court, but I don't know what he be talking about.
Melo will forever be this generation's Charles Barkley. So
that's tough.
It is.
That's tough.
I don't disagree with that assessment. Carmelo Anthony is the greatest scorer to ever play the game of basketball. So
yeah, that's what. And Charles Barkley is like the greatest 6'4" player, rebound. Right. You know?
Yeah,
that's what we'll say about Melo.
It just hurt to hear that. Maybe he could change that narrative, but it hurt to hear that.
There's nothing wrong with being that.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, damn.
He's probably the most. Charles Barkley's probably one of the most, even though he's an Uncle Tom, he's one of the most respected fucking players that have never, Hall of Famers that have never won a ring.
For sure. Yeah, Melo's right up there at that point. But I just hope Melo can be a champion. That's my big.
Great Olympic player, Melo.
For sure. So, 4-time gold medalist.
At my crib, I got baddies galore. They just blow all the rats on couture. On the beach, we just chill by the shore. I need MTV Chris for a tour.